And if this reliance on numbers and analytics and formulas was foolproof, the draft would not be the crapshoot that it is. And the Jets found out the hard way 3 years ago when they made the all-in move, going from 6 to 3, giving up 3 second-round picks
there you go.
to jump up 3 spots. Sam Darnold, not the guy, not the franchise quarterback they've been searching for since Joe Namath. Darnold officially introduced yesterday as the new quarterback of the Carolina Panthers. He talked to reporters about the reality of the New York Jets deciding after only 3 seasons that they no longer wanted him. Here's Darnold from Monday.
Before the trade happened, I always thought that, I could make it work in New York. Just being honest, I really did. And like I said, my goal has never changed, even though there was speculation about me getting traded. I always, believe that I can make it work and that we were going to get pieces and just be able to, win some games in New York and go to the playoffs and eventually win a Super Bowl. When I heard the news that they wanted to trade me, it was tough. Anytime you're not wanted somewhere, that's always, a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah, look, that's how it worked. They wanted him until they didn't. And you know what? The Panthers want him until they don't. He should talk to Teddy Bridgewater about how you go from being wanted to unwanted in Carolina in 1 year. And that could happen, even though his salary, when they pick up the option for 2022, will be fully guaranteed at $18.858 million. They still could decide after 1 year, Darnold's not the guy. This is just the next stop in this never-ending quest by David Tepper, the owner of the team, to find a franchise quarterback. Teddy Bridgewater, didn't work. Sam Darnold, let's see what happens. If that doesn't work, we'll move on to the next guy. And that's what Darnold needs to realize. There's no grace period for him in Carolina. It's sink or swim. Because if you don't swim, you're going to go on to the next team. We're going to be having this same press conference. Unwanted by the Panthers, now unwanted by whichever team he lands with next. Probably not as a starter if this happens again after only 1 year, Chris.
Yeah, that's right. If it doesn't work out here, he's going to be relegated to backup Bill until he can prove himself as a starter again. But he's in the spot, I think, that, really he's in a spot or a position to succeed and flourish. I do believe that. Again, I'm a believer in Sam Darnold. I think for me, I've seen enough to think, hey, you can win with this guy. You could go to the playoffs. You can make a playoff run. He can do some damage that way. I think it's the perfect marriage as far as a player, how he fits in the offense, the skill set around him. I think there's a good opportunity here. We could see like a Sam Darnold, a.k.a. Ryan Tannehill type career transformation where it's like the same thing. You just go, it wasn't really that bad in the last spot. It was a lot of crap around him. And as we know, that can lead to crappiness out of your play. And that's what happened to Tannehill with Miami. So I would not be shocked if we saw a similar story there with, that offense and some of those guys and what they're building there in Carolina. They got it going. I like the moves they make, and I'm happy for Sam Darnold. He's in a place that really wants him, and I think he's got the pieces around him to kind of let it fly.
And the difference is Tannehill was in Miami for 7 years before the Dolphins moved on. Darnold's only been in the NFL 3 seasons.
Yeah.
He's still 23 years old.
Right.
He's got a long way to go. A lot of chapters left in his NFL book, and we could see where it goes. But the cautionary tale is Teddy Bridgewater, because they can quickly fall out of love with you in Carolina. For now, they are in love with him. Here's Matt Rule, coach of the Panthers, talking about his faith in his new quarterback, Sam Darnold.
We believe in Sam. We believe in his skill set. We believe in his approach. As you talk to people that know him, he's tough-minded, he's competitive, and we're really hopeful that this will be a great place for him, and this will be a tremendous time for him in his career.
Matt, what physical skills still jump out to you when you watch Sam Darnold on tape, despite the documented struggles over the last 3 years?
I think when you see his arm talent, his ability to, I don't think there's a game that you watch where he doesn't make a play that makes you say, there it is. Can fit the ball into tight windows, can create with his feet. He moves around a ton. He creates plays with his legs, extends plays with his legs. And then you can just kind of see and feel his grittiness and his toughness. So I think his arm talent, his movement are a great fit for the players that we have here that he'll be playing with.
I still can't shed the memory of Matt Rule last year telling us how he's looking forward to coaching Cam Newton. But look, it's Sam Darnold has not done enough to be dubbed a franchise quarterback. You can point to certain things and you can pull out certain plays, and the Panthers social media team's done a good job of it over the past few days of highlighting the good from Sam Darnold. The problem is this isn't like golf where you have that one good shot, or maybe it is. You get that one good shot around. You otherwise shot 150, but you had that one good shot. It's about having more plays that help your team than moments that hurt your team. Because in balance, you're judged not by being able to pull out a flash or two on film and say, hey, you made a good decision there. You got to make the good decision far more often than not. You got to put the team in position to gain yards, chew up the clock, score points more often than not, and clearly he wasn't able to do it. Whether it's his fault, the guys around him, the coaching, whatever, we're going to find out. The guy clearly has the skills to be an NFL quarterback. The question is, can he perform at a sufficient level on a consistent basis? And how much of it, again, is him versus what was around him? We're going to find out. Great test, great experiment. We'll find out this year.
No, yeah, we are. We're going to find out a lot. And there's not going to be a lot of excuses. I mean, there's not. You're right. There's talent. It's McCaffrey. It's Robbie Anderson. It's DJ Moore, who's a superstar receiver. You know, it's a pretty good offensive system. You know, their offensive line should be better. You know, they got a good right tackle in Taylor Moton. They got Greg Little, you know, they drafted a few years ago. Should be left tackle. Could they use some interior offensive linemen? Sure. But I just think, you know, again, Sam Darnold was never put in a position to answer some of those questions, you know, that you're talking about, Mike. You're right. That's where it's tough with him. You know, it just wasn't a position to succeed, and you can't realistically sit there and blame him for like, oh, hey, you're a rookie. Can you carry us and play perfect and make every perfect decision and then have to make like some amazing plays every game with not a lot of guys that are very good around you? Can you do that for us? And then maybe we can win, or actually not even win, just be competitive. That's really what he was asked to do, and that's where it's unfair. That's where it's hard to, you know, evaluate him to a degree because of some of the bad spots he was constantly put in. But he's quick. He's really got great feet in the pocket. He can move around and throw under pressure because he's got a quick release and because of those feet, Mike. He is tough. You could see there, even in that press conference, he's honest. He makes no excuses. You like that about him. And, you know, for him personally, I mean, you know, listen, Mike, you look at Carolina, right, and where they're picking, and what are they? They're number 8, right?
8.
They could be in a spot where Sam Darnold, yeah, now that they have addressed the quarterback, you know, I don't think they're drafting a quarterback at number 8. That would be one of the dumber moves of the offseason if that happened. I'll just say that right off the bat. But they could be sitting there at number 8 going, wait, we could take the top corner on the board. It's a big need for their football team. Or, wait, is that Kyle Pitts on the board? Did any of those teams take Kyle Pitts yet? Oh, no? Okay, we'll add him to our offensive arsenal. And now you have that to go along with the 2 receivers and running back. I mean, they could be sitting there really pretty. Like, I'm really excited about what Carolina is doing as a football team and how they've kind of orchestrated their roster.
Matt Rule said yesterday they're in a position now to take the best player available at number 8, which implies, look, you got some reaching for quarterbacks that happens at the top of the draft. We've talked about that a lot.
Yes.
The fact that the quarterback position is so important to winning, and the longevity, if you get lucky with that lottery ticket that you scratch off and it says franchise quarterback, you've got the position solved for 10, 15, maybe up to 20 years. One last thing about Darnold, though, with the Jets.
Yeah.
And this is what Zach Wilson or whoever is going to step into. I think with each passing year, with each roll of the dice that fails, there's more and more pressure on the next quarterback to finally become the guy. And there's going to be a ton of pressure on Zach Wilson or whoever the second overall pick is. And, yeah, it's a great market, and you're going to have a lot of attention. You're going to have off-field earning opportunities, but you got to get it done. And the patience isn't there like it used to be. You got to get it done quickly or you'll be thrown overboard in 3 years, just like Sam Darnold was, because if the team continues to stink, they're going to be back in position to get one of the best quarterbacks. Let's go scratch a new lottery ticket, which is exactly what the Jets are going to do.
Yeah, no, you're right. And, you know, hopefully they're not going to make that same damn mistake once again. They've tried to improve their offensive line. They signed a Corey Davis in free agency to help out, hopefully, that young quarterback. They do have Denzel Mims, who was a second-round pick last year, to help out the wide receiving core. So we'll see where it goes. But, yeah, you just hope, as you're a Jets fan, that history doesn't repeat itself. You're going to draft one of these guys in the top 5. You got to make it happen. They can't just make it happen by themselves. And we've really seen that. With all the great top quarterbacks in the history of the NFL, the majority of them have been surrounded by really good talent early on in their career. And that helps them build confidence, become a better player, and then lends them to being a superstar when they get in the middle of their career. And I hope Joe Douglas and company realize that, and I think they do.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.